live on both Instagram and YouTube. Creating God, turn our thoughts to the past. Give us memories of the stories of how you transform lives. Use those stories to transform the lives of others and to transform our own lives. Glory to the greatest manifestation of love, God. I'm going to read one Bible text before we go to Genesis, which we're going to be focusing on for a moment, and that is Psalm 77, verses 11 and 12. O Lord, I'll remember the things you have done, your miracles of long ago. I will think about each of your mighty deeds. We've been working our way through the book of Genesis, and we are now into Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4 is kind of an interesting story. It's about Adam and Eve's family, specifically Cain and Abel, two of their sons. The sons seem to have different ways of worshiping God. Cain offers fruit as a sacrifice, and God's not super pleased with that. Abel offers sacrifices of meat, which is what God wanted. So God liked Abel's blessing of fruit, his offering. He did not like Cain's offering. And this created a problem. Cain wasn't happy about the fact that God liked Abel's offering, but did not like Cain's offering. God talks to Cain and warns him, look, this resentment could cause problems for you. And it could cause you to do bad things. Cain kills his brother, and God asks Cain, where's Abel? Cain kind of brushes this off with a question. Am I my brother's keeper? God punishes Cain by making Cain wander the earth. He kind of wanders all over the earth. And Cain is afraid that he's going to be killed, so God marks Cain so that Cain will not be killed. Now, I've got a couple of thoughts for you. Looks to me like the first murder was due to religious hate and religious jealousy. The first murder was caused by religious hate and jealousy. It's almost like the Bible kind of starts with a warning about religion when it's not done well, when it's based on jealousy, resentment, not on love. There are times when people of faith are jealous and resentful. Jealous and resentful because someone else, some other minister has more church members. Some other church denomination is bigger. Another world religion is growing at a faster rate. There appears to be some kind of a threat to seeing other people's ministries, churches, denominations, world religions growing faster, being bigger, being more successful. And sometimes it comes out in the form of religious jealousy and rage. God asked Cain to guard against evil, to guard against the resentment. As people of faith, we need to guard very carefully against religious jealousy and rage. We're going to focus mainly in our prayers tonight for international concerns, major concerns, and not so much for health-related stuff, because we've prayed for that stuff earlier. Praying for the countries that have been hard hit by earthquakes as they rebuild. And as those in those countries are rebuilding in the face of loss and hurt and pain. Praying specifically for Morocco, Syria, Turkey. Praying for areas where there have been fires that have been devastating. Parts of the United States and Canada, such as Hawaii, British Columbia, Northwest Territories, Alberta. Praying for those who've lost colleagues, classmates, neighbors, acquaintances, friends, loved ones, due to shootings and mass shootings. About 100 people a day in America die due to gun violence. Praying for peace, starting with ceasefires and working their way through negotiations and long-term peace agreements. Peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan, between Russia and Ukraine, between Israel and Gaza. Praying for peace in Sudan. We're praying for persecuted Coptic Christians, for the future of 3 churches that are small churches, been doing amazing things. Praying for their leadership. We're praying they'll be blessed. They will be able to do things that just blow people's minds away. Praying for a family that lost a 6-year-old. For a person who had an infection and the doctors say it'll take 6 months to recover. For a person who's recently become blind. For a person who's been passing out some. For a baby that's been on our prayer list for about 2 years. Praying for the baby's health and development. The medication will continue to work for the parents, for the primary care providers, for extended family who are doing what they can to be of support and encouragement. For an LGBT plus person who sometimes feels discouraged and isolated. For a person with AIDS. Praying for a number of people who have cancer. There's 6 people who have cancer that are on my prayer list. There's a 7th that's not directly on the prayer list. The person's had a number of operations and I think is growing a bit weary from the operations. We're praying for sexual and gender minority people across America. There's been quite a wave of anti-LGBT plus bills going through state legislatures. We're praying for the safety of Jewish people, Palestinians, Muslims around the world, as some people are blaming anyone they meet who is Muslim or Jewish or Palestinian for what's taken place between Israel and Gaza. Praying for a complete end to Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. Praying for racial justice and equity, and for reduction in political tensions and divisions. On Tuesdays, we pray for members of other world religions and faith traditions. We pray for Catholic, Old Catholic, and Orthodox Christians. We pray for evangelical Christians. You're welcome to respond to this video with a prayer request if you have one. I'm happy to pray for your concerns. Concluding our time of prayer with the Lord's Prayer from the Cotton Patch Bible. Father of us, O spiritual one, your name be truly honored, your movement spread, your will prevail through the earth as through the heavens. Give us sustaining bread each day. Forgive us our debts as we forgive all who cannot pay. And from confusion, keep us clear from the evil's sway. Thank you for joining tonight. I wish you a very good night, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.